experience to you. When I first watched My Hero Academia, what captivated me wasn't just the show's basis of heroism, but to a greater extent, its characters, their struggles to grow and excel at what they do, and their relationships. Character journeys and experiences are often the focus of my enjoyment of any given story I indulge in, more so than the plot. My Hero Academia could simply have been My Academia, set in a quirkless world centered on the same characters striving for academic excellence, and I would have enjoyed it just the same. The characters, in essence, are the quintessence of the show. I mean, it's in the name, My Hero Academia. It's about growth and a journey with characters who happen to be heroes. The first two My Hero Academia movies, while not perfect, succeeded as a result by integrating elements of the characters' journeys and experiences from the main series, while World Heroes Mission disregards those elements in favor of the plot. Now, for any standalone movie, this is not a bad thing. However, MHA movies aren't canon, allegedly, and therefore, to an extent, need the foundation of the main series to retain sufficient depth. Let me explain. Two Heroes deliberates on the idea of legacy, and this was already an established theme in the series. It contemplates the question, what happens after All Might is gone? Much like the main series, Two Heroes, through David Shield, represents this theme and creates the plot through his decisions and actions that culminates in the climactic resolution of the story. The main characters, Deku and Class 1A, when faced with the difficult situations they're in, act in accordance to the established characteristics. Through the characters' motivations, judgments, actions, and consequences to these actions, we get the message of hope and allowing the new generation to take over and go beyond. It's a simple premise, yes, nothing groundbreaking, but it managed to evoke emotional weight simply because the characters are central to the plot. Heroes Rising, my personal favorite, sees Class 1A sent on a faraway island to fill in as heroes without the supervision of any pro-heroes. This instantly piqued my interest, as this meant that Class 1A would not only be the focus, but they'd also be essentially calling the shot. It succeeded in presenting this scenario as we got to see almost all the characters' personalities shine in the creative ways each use their quirks, however mundane the task. Heroes Rising particularly centers on Deku and Bakugo, their opposing characteristics and differing brands of what heroism means, ultimately picking up their complicated relationship from their confrontation in Season 3, a very intense and emotionally charged altercation that left both with a better understanding of each other and the audience with a deeper understanding of Bakugo. Heroes Rising carried over these elements, giving the movie a much stronger emotional impact. Witnessing these two work together, fight together to face a foe when they previously couldn't be in the same room together was beautiful to watch. I mean, I shed literal tears at this scene. It was the song, definitely the song. Two Heroes and Heroes Rising succeeded because they allowed their characters to shine, to tackle obstacles and problems presented to them in line with their established personalities and characteristics. Creating a stronger connection with the main story gave these movies considerable substance. This, in my opinion, is where World Heroes Mission falls short. World Heroes Mission does not specifically borrow any of the main story's thematic and characteristic elements. There's a villain threatening the world, and our heroes must prevail. We already know they will, obviously, with the previous movies, we know they aren't canon, allegedly. So at least give me something else to cling to. Anything? I'm here for joy. I'm looking for joy. I'm looking for feels. It's dark out here. The movie manages to give us spectacular animation, fight scenes, and beautiful shots. However, it felt unusually empty. Shoto, Bakugo, and Midoriya all get their moments to shine, but not on a characteristic level. The three Musketeers are shown somewhat docile to the plot, acting out of character and performing moves we've never seen them do before. When did Shoto learn to do all that? Bakugo is— Wait a minute. Sir, are you in the right movie? Bakugo is tech savvy now? Okay. Now, we know Midoriya as a smart, resilient, and out-of-the-box thinker, always finding adept and ingenious ways to solve his problems. So you can imagine my surprise during his fight with, wait, what's his name again? Wait a second. Flecked Turn. Ugh, that's such a lame name. How do you defeat someone who mirrors your attacks? Punch him harder. This is not Deku. All Might, maybe. But Deku? This Deku? We know he can do better. We've seen him do better. This movie stretches itself a bit thin, wanting to involve everyone and do everything everywhere all at once whilst giving nothing. It's like they just plucked the MHA characters as shells of themselves, marked a register, and threw in a typical superhero plot and called it a day. While the previous two movies aren't necessarily canon, allegedly, they still managed to portray and tie in key aspects of the characters from the main story. They felt like My Hero Academia installments, whilst the characters in World Heroes Mission felt like they were just there, participating. That's why it felt meaningless. If you happen to make it this far into the video, please like and consider subscribing, pretty please. Thank you.